What's up with y'all? I'm back with a new video, and today I'm gonna be showing y'all the easiest way to mix and master your beats. So before we get into anything, I am not by any means saying I'm an expert mixing engineer or anything. In my opinion, there are really no rules when it comes to mixing and mastering. So yeah, I'm gonna be showing y'all my personal method when it comes to mixing and mastering my beats. So I just wanted to give that quick little disclaimer before someone comments saying I'm mixing and mastering wrong or whatever. Alright, so enough talking, let's get into this video. Alright, so I got this beat I made just for the purpose of this tutorial. So here's what it sounds like. So it's a pretty simple beat and I have not done any form of mixing on it. So first off, all I do is hold down shift and highlight all of my sounds, and then right click on the first insert on the mixer right here, and then hover over link selected channels and do starting from this track. So the first step is leveling your sounds, and this just kind of comes with experience. If you're having trouble getting good levels, one thing that'll help you tremendously is finding a beat or song that you really like the mix on, and then dragging that song into your FL Studio project, and then base your levels off of that song's levels. So basically just use that beat or track as a reference for your own beat. But for this beat, I'm just going to do everything by ear. So I'm going to take off my headphones and actually use my studio monitors, and I'm just going to do some quick leveling on this beat. Alright, so I just did some easy basic leveling. Also, one more thing that can help you with your levels is if you have multiple ways to listen to the beat, for example headphones and studio monitors, if you go back and forth between those, it can actually give you a more accurate reading of the beat. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is add an EQ onto our melody. So the goal here is to get as much low end as you can out of the melody without making the melody sound weird. So I right click right here, go to mastering, and then this preset. And basically I just pull this up to around 200 Hertz, or as far up as I can get it without it making the melody sound too thin, if that makes sense. So right there should be good. So in this beat I actually have two different hi-hats playing. One of them is like the main hi-hat, and the other one I have like a wonky filter on just to add a little extra bounce to the beat. So in my personal taste, I like my hi-hats to have a good amount of high end in them. So I'm gonna actually turn this knob up down here to give it a little bit more high end. Right there should be good. And then for the kick, I don't need to add anything, the kick sounds fine. I'm gonna add a little bit of reverb to this percussion sound. It sounds a little bit dry. I'll just use the default preset and then turn the mix down. Right there. And honestly, this 808's fine the way it is, but I'm actually gonna add a little bit of distortion. So I'm gonna add a fastest and turn all the settings all the way up, but I'm gonna turn the mix like almost all the way down. Like that. I'll just add a little bit of high end to it. Maybe a little bit more. The melody could also use a little bit more brightness, probably because I pitched it down some. So I'm gonna add another EQ on the melody and then bring the high end up a little bit. Now for the mastering, this is also something that really depends on your taste. I like to have a little bit of clipping in my beats. Some people don't like it. It's honestly up to whatever you like. And I've been through using Fruity Limiter, Isotope Ozone, Soft Clipper, and I think that this is the easiest and quickest method that I found for my own beats. So the first step is pretty much optional, but I just add a parametric EQ and I just add a little bit of high end pretty much, and maybe a little bit of low end. I personally would recommend doing this because a lot of people's beats lack high end, and lacking high end in your beats really makes them sound kind of low quality and lo-fi. It may be good for making samples, but in my opinion for making finished beats, it just doesn't sound good. So yeah, I just turn up the high end a little bit, and then all I do is I just throw in a soft clipper and I turn the post up as much as I can. without it sounding too distorted. So yeah, that is all I do when it comes to mixing and mastering my beats. You may be surprised at how simple my process is, but in my opinion, that's all it takes to get a good sounding beat. At the end of the day, it really isn't our job as producers to have crazy mixing and mastering skills. We just need to make sure our beats are polished enough so that they're slapping when artists hear them. So if you are trying to learn to engineer and like mix and master like crazy, I'm really not the guy for that. I'm just showing y'all my full process on how I mix and master my beats. In my opinion, if you do follow these steps, your beats should sound good, they should be hitting. So yeah, that's my process when it comes to mixing and mastering my beats. If you did enjoy this video and you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and make sure you follow me on my Twitter and Instagram at Kyle Stemmerger to stay updated. If you got any suggestions, questions, anything like that, just comment that down below and I'll try and get back to as many of you guys as I can. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed and learned something from this video. See y'all soon.